Hello, and welcome to another episode of the 1995 Rewind. This is looking at movies that released in 1995 that are turning 30 years old here in 2025. Today, it is another classic, and that is the comedy Clueless. If you're like me, it is hard to accept and believe that this movie is turning 30 years old. You probably remember where you were when you saw it. This movie came out. Kind of a formative time for me. I had just started high school in 1995. This a kind of high school comedy, but also a modern update and retelling of Jane Austen's Emma. This kind of kicked off a wave of these teen films that were really uh, modernized adaptations of different classic works of literature. We saw that a lot of times with Shakespeare moving forward, especially later in the 90s and in the early 2000s. But this one, a really great performance from Alicia Silverstone. I really enjoyed Paul Rudd here. The late Brittany Murphy is pretty good here. Donald Faison, Dan Hedaya always makes me laugh as her father. There are just some classic lines, some good observations in this movie, and it is a lot of fun. So I think this is a film that people really think of when they think of those 1990s teen comedies. It has stood the test of time for these 30 years, remains very popular. If you were on social media at all, you saw Alicia Silverstone reenact a classic sequence from this movie in honor of its 30th anniversary with her son, which was really cute. But if you haven't seen this movie, it is definitely worth checking out. Sometimes on the rewind, I go with some more adult fare, maybe some darker or some deeper fare, but this one just kind of some lighthearted fun. There, it actually is part of a group of comedies from this year, 1995, that have always stood out to me. That I'll be looking at as we go forward. But for the 1995 rewind this week, we are looking at the classic Clueless, just a really fun film, definitely worth checking out as it turns 30 years old here in 2025. Well, that'll do it for me today. I will be back next weekend with a different kind of classic, an action film from Robert Rodriguez. Until then, you guys have a wonderful week.